better this time round. So if you guys enjoyed this little new song, we're gonna teach you guys how to about all the animations at the Disney World. That is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have fun.
Teaching you all about old and young. Old and young. Like
these two whippersnappers are fighting.
You enjoy the show. Do. Can enjoy this too. The old and young.
You guys enjoyed that. Hope that's smaller. I hear to play play. Enjoy the video. Trying to make this better this time round. So if you guys enjoyed this little new song, we're gonna teach you guys how to about all the animations at the Disney World. That is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have fun.
Teaching you all about old and young. Old and young. Like
these two whippersnappers are fighting.
And all the ones who have passed away. Can enjoy this too. The old and young.
You guys enjoyed that. Hope that's smaller. I hear to play play. Enjoy the video.
Alright, all you cool cats. Now back to the lecture. Now you know something?
Okay. Hi everyone, Martha here. So, in preparation, even though Aladdin and Jasmine don't even show up in this episode, I looked up to see if there's any of House of Mouse episodes that has Aladdin characters in it. And the first one I found is the one I'm going to do. And that is House of Magic and the Truth About Mother Goose. So let's get started with House of Magic first. So apparently, Iago and Jafar are late, are lost, and now Mickey and Minnie will have to find a replacement. Sadly, the replacement is Daisy and does not know what she is doing and wants to do a magic show. Even Goofy, Gus, Horace, and Clarabelle thinks that she can't do it, and so she goes and steals from Mary, fairy godmother, who just made her own wand dinner instead of a microwave dinner. It's a wand dinner and joy that Goofy gave her. And while she's eating, Daisy takes her wand, tries to do a magic trick, and she does a magic trick all right. She makes the whole audience disappear, and then they, for some reason, instead of bringing back the audience, Mickey decides, oh, we're gonna play a cartoon anyway because apparently we can't fix this. And they end up playing Pluto, Preposition Pluto, where Pluto is trying to take out his girlfriend, Dale's son, and so Butch couldn't have her, and he keeps on trying. Gets kicked out by him and gets kicked into a magician's a magic shop and gets trapped inside of a chest that has a wand he accidentally swallows, and every time he hiccups, magic happens. So he goes to help her over the hill and put Butch into the ditch and presents her with a picnic. And after they eat the steak that he made for her, he accidentally turns her into a bone. And then Bush thinks it's actual bone instead of the girl they're fighting over with, and proceeds to take it and set the Pluto to save her before she's digging a hole and suffocates. So Pluto keeps on getting the bone away from Butch, and they continue to fight until she's almost in a hole, and Pluto saves her, but hiccuping about time, and Bush ends up turning into a bone at the very end. after he gets the wand trapped in his mouth after Pluto finally got out of his throat. So yeah, that's how that one ends. And now they finally go and instead of watching our cartoons, they go and try to they asked Tony J, who's playing the magic mirror this time, asked him, how do we get this, how do we get everybody back? And he says he tells them to go downstairs and look for the props section. And they all go through all the stuff and they find the black cauldron of all things. And Goofy also finds one of those dragon things from Mulan. So Daisy dresses up as Maleficent and tries and does the whole entire Black Cauldron thing, and brings back some of the Black Cauldron characters that was the Horn King's army, and also makes the whole entire House of Mouse disappear. And right then, this is when Jafar shows up, and Mickey says, "Oh yeah, there also is another cartoon, which is Donald." Let me go back. Disaster Bowling Alley. And this one is just mostly Donald trying to play bowling alley, and he's trying to do that where he still ends up knocking them over, but ends with him not having him get a goal because two of them come back down because he hits it with a dynamite, a bomb, and it blows up, and still somehow two pins are still there. I don't know how that works, but we can never let Donald have a good day. Never. It's not, you're not allowed to do that. So let's see what the next one is. This is when Jafar shows up, and Mickey asks for an exchange for Agrabah for them to bring back the House of Mouse, which he does, and he does the whole entire Bippy Boppy Boo. And I think that his Bippy Boppy Boo is pretty good. I mean, it's no fairy godmother, but him and Iago does a pretty good job, and they make the house disappear. Then he says, "Okay, now fork over Agrabah." And oh yeah, he gets Agrabah, all right. He gets the snow globe, and Iago goes, "We get bamboozled by a mouse." Then we have Daisy decided, okay, no more magic. I'm just gonna still use this cauldron for some reason, and we still have the Black Cauldron coming. And then we have the announcer guy tells them, does like a little bit with the magic mirror, and we have a bit with Mickey asking, "Can I ever keep this hat?" And nope, you cannot, because it belongs to Yen Sid over there. And Merlin asking, "Can Arthur be a king?" And he says, "Of course he will be, and a mighty good one too." So, and that's how that one went. So let's find out who worked on it and stuff like that. So this one came out September 2nd, 2002. Thomas Hill written it, directed by Tony Craig and Bob Ginsway. Let's see, like I said, those 3 cartoons are on there. Oh yeah, there's also Babysitter, where Donald and Goofy and Mickey and had to babysit Baby New Year. Make sure he gets to the Baby New Year, but it's that stupid turtle that always never wants to behave, and the mom is like, "Because I'm sick." Eventually, they have to get him out of Baby out of a sandile. Goofy tries to fish for him by using a lollipop, and so he gets him out of there, but he ends up running away, and they can't. And they find out that he was running around without his shell on, so now he's sick. And so now Mickey, Donald, and Goofy have to be the Baby New Year. So they're all dressed up as diapers. And Mickey says, "Well, at least you get to go to the party." And Donald says, "Ah, shut up!" So, yep, forgot about it. Mostly, I just watch these things for what happens outside the cartoons. Especially this one. So let's see. There's anything else. That's basically it for that one. So let's get to the truth about Mother Goose. And this one was told by Ludwig von Drake, or as Walt Disney says, Lou Sherlock Drake. And so he tells us 3 different nursery rhymes, which is Jack Corner and Mary Mary Quite Contrary and London Bridge is Falling Down. And he tells us what they knew from the 60s, what was the truth about these 3 cartoons. And we still don't know what these ones are really about, because we are still learning about these things because how old they are, and it's still taking us forever to find out what they were truly about. Or was this just somebody spouting nonsense about stuff? So I'm going to tell you what they say and what these other rhymes these can be about. So in the cartoon, we have Little Jack Corner, which is, according to this cartoon, Jack Thomas Corner, Stewart to Richard Wright, last Lord to Goldenberry, which I guess was a deed that was supposed to get to Henry VIII. Now, you remember Henry VIII is the king who beheaded, had two of his wives beheaded, divorced 2 of his wives, and had one of his wives survive him. So yeah, that's who that guy is. A lot of people also think that Jack Corner's pie is a metaphor for a lot, like, about him being a bad boy and not sharing the pie about anybody. And it was also one of the stories that was told by Henry Carey in 1925. There was a version told by Robert Walpole, and then soon there was one Mercourt version, which has to do with the Christmas pie version. I'll read you each version of those ones. So this first one right here, it goes: Little Jack Corner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie with his. He put his thumb in his thumb, pull it out, said, "What a good boy am I." And that one was the one with the Goose version that came out in 1979. There was one also made by James Wilson 5 years later. It was Natural Nursery Rhymes Songs of 1870. Now the one about Henry Carey goes like this. Now he is singing of Jack Corey, Christmas cherry, eating of Christmas pie, sitting and putting it in his thumb, or fry and putting it into the fire of his thumb, and pulls out all strange up a plum. That one more sounds like he should not be eating that pie, so that's what that one more sounds like. And that one came out 1731. Okay, here's another one. Jack Where, this one is in the silver service, but where they but the Jack Corner who sank in the corner, cut freely in public pie, till each of his thumbs squills and each a plum, and he cried out, "I am a great man, am I?" So, yep. And the next one, which is one that came in 1817, which this one is goes, Jack Corner's Christmas pie, learn my rhyme. Impress the means of public port, and Dale Hills draws happy, oh happy corner, where I am encountered thy hell's corner. So yeah, I don't know. I just think mostly they have been saying these rhymes since like around the fire pit, and you're supposed to decide which version you think is real. That's what I believe in. The next one they talk about is Mary, Mary, Quite Contrary. Why does your garden grow? And they say that it has to do with Mary Scott's. Now, Mary Scott's is the cousin to to Queen Mary, and the niece of Henry VIII. So they made it to, because she had like 3 different husbands that she was supposed to be with, and 2 of those guys had their heads cut off, and she ends up having her hair cut off because she's damned as a traitor, according to Elizabeth I, because she wanted to take the crown away from her. Instead, when Queen Elizabeth died, we have Queen of Scots' son, James I, come the king, which knights Scotland and England together. And there's also a version where they think it's Bloody Mary, when she's killing a lot of the Protestants and making them want them to make them all Catholic again, like she did with her cousin, Lady Jane Grey, when her younger brother Edward died from tuberculosis. So yeah, there's also a version where the rhyme could mean does it mean the Virgin Mary when she had Jesus. Now I think that maybe it could be either one of them, or it could just be a rhyme that somebody passes down to everybody, like telling them around the fireplaces, like with Jack Horner. And the last one they talk about is London bridges falling down. The way they do it, they talk about like how the very first bridge was built, or people to get across from an O's to have there are too many houses on the bridge, and how it fell down due to a fire, and then they had to rebuild it, and then it fell down by itself because it got too heavy and got too old. So now they use it instead for just to drive across. And some of it, one of the older versions isn't part of here in Arizona. Never been to that bridge, and then the last bit of it, and then he Ludwig switches over to fairy tales, where he talks about Maleficent, Pinocchio, Cinderella, and the evil stepmom from Snow White. And then we get to the Mickey Beanstalk, and I think he does a better version of telling this story than Edgar Birkin does. Because, to tell you the truth, Edgar keeps on interrupting the story and not telling you, telling stuff that he really shouldn't have, and sometimes that weird puppet looks too scary and not acts and says things that like the 8th grade. So I just think that since Ludwig doesn't interrupt the story as much as he does, I like his version better of it. And then it ends with, instead of Willie interrupting Edgar and making Edgar faint, it's Ludwig. And it's basically the same exact thing. We have the little bug hermit liking Willie there instead. So yeah, it's the same exact animation that they use in that movie, except for they have it over another animation instead of a real person. So yeah, so let's find out who directed that one. We have Ludwig thinking that Mother Goose is his grandmom, which, okay, whatever. In one of the versions of London Bridge, we also have the Sword in the Stone animation being used here. Again, here, I think, let's see, which one's first? Was it this one or Sword in the Stone? 1957. So this one was first, then they reused it for Sword in the Stone. So yeah, the part where we see Kay about to fight for him to be king, fight for his right to be king. We had those two knights doing jousting together, and they knock over. So the whole entire thing is reused here. I'll show you guys pictures of it here. Let's find out who did it. We got Wolfgang Reitherman, who directed it. Bill Just and Bill Pete DeBuck, his DeBuck direction. Here, let's see if anybody else. You could watch this one originally in 1957, and it was part of Abercrombie Best Animation Shorts, but it lost to Miracle Metamy's Bird Anonymous, so it lost to a Tweety and Sylvester cartoon. Darn it! Oh well. The short was released in 2005, and Walt Disney Treasures paced shorts up to celebrating shorts to 1920s to 1960s. Jack Horner is also one of the best DreamWorks villains out there. I just want to add that since I am talking about him in this in here. I did think he did a really great job in Puss in Boots too. Since we had like 3 different villains in there, I think he's one of the villains that is still, because one of them is a trick villain. He's one of the pure villains, and one is this one you don't want to mess with because it's literal death. That since I mentioned Jack Horner earlier in this video. Got him in, every time you talk about Jack Horner, you got him in mention this Jack Horner, where he just got mad that he is only known for pie and wants to have all magic now. So if you guys enjoyed that, I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And I can't wait for us to get Aladdin and Jasmine in a couple days. Can you?
Okay, fine, I'll be in it. Do this together, right, Simba?
I know how to make a wand dinner, apparently. I should give it to Fairy Godmother and let her do it. Right, Simba?
Right? Yep, even my girlfriend has bad days, apparently. What's that? Her not knowing when to stop using magic. Apparently so. We all know who's the best one to do magic around here.
Yen Sid?
No, me!
I'm pretty sure it's Yen Sid.
Aw, man! How come nobody ever listens to me and say we're just gonna stay with Jafar? Because Jafar knows what he's doing, right?
And according to Walt Disney, this guy's Sherlock Holmes. So if you guys enjoyed that, like, here, subscribe, and bye-bye. My cat says leave me alone. Bye-bye.